Okay, so I don't normally post stuff like this. I lurk a lot on here, read the creepy stories, but I've never actually had something happen that felt like it belonged here. Until now. For context, I'm in my late 20s, live in Reno, and I've got a tight little friend group I've known since high school. There's me, Alex, the responsible one, with the truck, Jordan, big into photography, and Mia, who's just fearless, sometimes to the point of stupidity. We usually do weekend hikes, but last month Jordan suggested we go camping way out in the Nevada desert, somewhere remote, away from light pollution, so he could get night sky shots. I was all for it. Honestly, it sounded perfect, just the four of us, a fire, some beers, and a ridiculous view of the stars. We packed up on a Friday afternoon, drove about 3 hours into the middle of nowhere, and set up camp where the dirt road basically ended. You could turn in any direction and see nothing but desert stretching forever. The first night was normal. We made a fire, messed around with the camera, and pointed out constellations like we knew what we were talking about. It wasn't until the second night that things got weird. The second night started out calm, almost boring. We'd already done the fire thing, had our drinks, and Jordan was messing with long exposures on his camera. I remember lying back on one of those crappy folding camp chairs, staring at the stars. Out there, the sky doesn't look real. It's so dense with stars it almost feels like you're underwater, like they're pressing down on you. That's when Mia pointed out this one star that seemed off. It wasn't twinkling, and it was way brighter than the rest. At first, we figured it was just a plane or a satellite. Except it wasn't moving in a straight line. It'd drift a little, stop, then zip the other way. Planes don't do that. Satellites definitely don't do that. Jordan was losing his mind, trying to get a shot of it, muttering about how his lens kept picking up weird flares. Then the desert went silent. Like, instantly. 1 second we were hearing the occasional coyote howl, bugs chirping, the fire crackling, the next, nothing. Not even wind. Just a heavy, suffocating silence. That's when the low hum started. Not loud, but deep. Like when a semi-truck passes you on the freeway, but stretched out, constant. It didn't come from one direction, it felt like it was inside our chests. I remember looking at Alex, and he had this tight, forced smile like he was trying not to freak us out. The light in the sky dipped lower. I don't think any of us were actually ready for it to come closer. It wasn't like in movies where you see some big saucer with flashing lights. This thing was wrong. The way it moved, it almost made my brain stutter trying to follow it. 1 second it was drifting slow, then it would twitch, like skipping frames in a video, and suddenly it'd be yards away. When it got low enough, I realized it wasn't glowing from lights. The whole thing seemed to pulse, like it was made of heat haze or liquid metal. Hard edges but shifting, if that makes sense. We stood there frozen, not even whispering, until there was this flash, not blinding at first, more like every shadow stretched and snapped tight around us. The fire went out. Jordan's camera shut off. My phone, which I'd been clutching without realizing, went black. Then came the real flash. White, total. It didn't feel like light. It felt like pressure, like something reached through and squeezed my skull. I don't remember falling, but I must have. Because the next thing I knew, I was on my back in the dirt, staring at the sky again. Except the stars were in a completely different place. When I came to, the fire was just cold ash. My throat was dry like I'd swallowed sand, and the air was freezing in a way it hadn't been before. Alex was shaking me, saying my name over and over. Jordan was curled up by the tent, sobbing. Mia was just standing there, staring off into the desert like she was waiting for something to come back. We all thought we'd been out for maybe a few minutes. But when Alex checked his watch, it was almost 4 in the morning. The last thing I remembered was around 11:30. We lost hours. And it wasn't just the time. My shirt was inside out. Jordan swore his camera had been strapped around his neck, but now it was zipped inside his backpack, cards wiped clean. Mia had a nosebleed that wouldn't stop for almost an hour, and there were these weird, faint marks on her arms, not scratches, not bruises, more like perfectly straight red lines. Nobody wanted to talk about it, but we couldn't ignore it either. We kept glancing at the sky, waiting to see that light again. It never came. We packed up as soon as the sun broke the horizon. None of us said it out loud, but we were scared to still be there when night fell again. The drive back felt longer than the drive out. Nobody wanted to talk. Every time I glanced in the rearview, I half expected to see headlights behind us, even though we were the only ones on that road. When I finally got home, I slept for almost 14 hours straight. But it wasn't real sleep. I kept waking up with these fragmented dreams, flashes of white light, a humming in my bones, Mia's silhouette standing in the desert. Over the next week, it only got worse. Jordan stopped answering texts. When I finally went to his place, he looked like hell, pale, jumpy, like he hadn't slept in days. He said he kept seeing figures in his yard at night. Tall, he whispered. Too tall. Mia laughed it off at first, said we were all just psyching ourselves out. But then she started getting migraines so bad she couldn't go to work. She told me she kept waking up at 3:17 a.m. every night, the exact same time. And Alex, the responsible one. He called me one night and said his truck wouldn't start, like the battery was dead, but when the mechanic checked it, the whole electrical system was fried. Like it got hit with an EMP, the guy told him. Me. I can't shake the feeling that we're being watched. I'll be walking home and swear I hear that low hum again, just under the sound of traffic. Every time I look up at the stars now, my stomach knots. They don't look beautiful anymore. They look crowded. Normal never came back. 2 weeks after the desert, Jordan vanished, no note, no trace, just his camera gone and walls covered in photos of the night sky with one pale smear. His phone stopped at 3:12 a.m. Mia folds into herself now, her dreams full of breathing walls and voices that know her name. Alex watches the stars at 3:17, like they're keeping score. I went back once. The ground hummed, lights stuttered across the horizon, and my phone buzzed with a photo I don't remember taking. Time stamp, 3:17. Since then, sleep comes in fragments. The hum lingers under the city, under my chest. Sometimes, in the dark, I feel I'm not alone. Last night, Mia texted, "They're back. The lights are not stars. Time is not fixed. Something is learning us."